comrades in battle, but we were not friends. We didn't know each other personally. It was always like matter of fact discussion. I guess we had the same values and goals.
Can you give us a little introduction about yourself?
Yeah, so I found Bitcoin in 2009, helped Satoshi maintain bitcoin.org and Bitcoin forums, and also contributed to Bitcoin source code a little bit. From 2009 to 2010 mostly. I ran bitcoinexchange.com, one of the first Bitcoin exchange sites, made the first Bitcoin to USD transaction back in 2009. Mined a lot of Bitcoin on my laptop, sold too early, but life is good.
How did you discover Bitcoin and what made you stay around for so long, even since 2010?
Yeah, so I was a 20-year-old computer science student when I found Bitcoin. I'm quite passionate about freedom. I'm a libertarian, like many of us, but I did not have faith in making a difference through politics. We would never get the majority to vote libertarian. Instead, we could use technology to change the world without asking the boomers for permission. And I was thinking what would be the most impactful thing you could change, and figured out it would be money, because everything runs on money. And if government controls money, they have too much power over our limited time and energy and our everyday lives. They can print money, they can confiscate our money and censor our money and monitor us. And with an alternative money, we could fix this. So I went looking for alternatives. There were these centralized alternatives like e-gold, Pecunix, whatever. But you can look up their history. They are cautionary examples. They were scams or just shut down by the governments. A bit like banks, but even less transparent and accountable. No solution there. So, but then I found Bitcoin. I was Googling around for peer-to-peer currency and found Bitcoin, which had just been published. Found bitcoin.org and the white paper by Satoshi. Took some time to digest it and sent email to Satoshi offering my help. You can read our email correspondence, which I just published earlier this year. We exchanged over 200 emails over a couple of years.
How much has Bitcoin changed since you discovered it? What's the most mind-blowing change for you?
Well, everything has changed. Bitcoin was basically nothing back in 2009. When you Googled for Bitcoin, you could find like 10 results. So over the years, Bitcoin has provided all these greater-than-life moments, but it's been gradual, happening over the span of 15 years. So might be hard to pinpoint any single moment, but I guess, well, back in the day, it was big when EFF and WikiLeaks started taking Bitcoin somewhere around 2010, 2011, I think, or when it was first on Slashdot, and then when it finally was accepted as noteworthy enough on Wikipedia. That was big. And then I guess at some point we got like some Spice Girl endorsing Bitcoin. That was funny. Then Bitcoin reached $1,000 in 2014. Of course, now Bitcoin is an official currency of El Salvador and maybe other countries soon. That's pretty big. Never could have imagined back then. We have the ETFs. In Lugano, it's basically an official currency. You can pay all the municipality bills with Bitcoin. It's just all of it is mind-blowing. Could never have imagined.
You were so early and involved in the project, being Satoshi's, one would say, right hand. Would you consider that you were friends?
I guess we were like collegial and like how do you say it in English, like comrades in battle. But we did not, we were not friends. Like we didn't like know each other personally. It was always like matter of fact discussion. I guess we had the same values and goals on some level, I imagine. So in some way we were not friends, but not the same way as my other friends.
You published a ton of emails you had with Satoshi. Why did you decide to do it now?
I guess it was private correspondence. It just somehow didn't feel right to share it. I guess I'm a bit of a shy, introverted person anyway, and maybe out of respect for the other party as well. But there was this certain UK trial this year, and I found it would be appropriate and meaningful for that purpose.
After all these years, do you think Bitcoin has fulfilled its goals?
Yeah, so I guess I wished Bitcoin could take away the government's power to print money, confiscate our money, censor our transactions, and also give us privacy. I guess it hasn't. We haven't seen hyper-Bitcoinization yet, so Bitcoin has not replaced government currencies yet, but maybe we're getting there. I'm hopeful. But it has already given us like an alternative, like a protection from inflation, store of value, like an uncensorable global payment network. I mean, if you're a woman in Iran or Africa, you can use Bitcoin without anyone discriminating you. What else? Privacy. That needs some improvement. I guess we have Lightning gives you pretty okay privacy. I think so. With Bolt 12, might be even easier to accept Lightning payments and improve the privacy situation. Maybe if there are some layer 1 privacy improvements, I believe they will be integrated into Bitcoin as well if the trade-offs are not too expensive. But I think Bitcoin is doing pretty well.
As Bitcoin becomes a part of political conversations worldwide, would you say it's against its nature or it's just part of the growth?
Yeah, it's just a part of the process, I guess. It's true to some extent that Bitcoin is a technology. As a tool, it's just a tool, but its origins are in the freedom technology thing, and there's a political aspect to it. I guess there's been some polarization as well between left and right, and how they view Bitcoin. But I think it doesn't have to be that way. Like, I think it could even be a unifying force, and people across the political spectrum could see the utility of Bitcoin.
For you, what would you say is the future of Bitcoin?
I think, yeah, Bitcoin still has the fundamentals right, and I think it will continue to snowball, and maybe more corporations will have it on their balance sheets, and then governments, I think maybe small governments first, and then the G7 countries will be laggards, but I hope we'll get there. I hope the free world will adopt Bitcoin earlier than the Xi Jinpings and the Putins.
Is this your first time in Lugano?
It's my second time. I came here last year to meet my friend.
Have you been to other Bitcoin circular economies?
I've been to Uvita, Costa Rica. It seemed really casual, like paying with Bitcoin. They're like, okay, it's just normal.
What do you like the most of Lugano?
The beauty of the city, the landscapes, and the vibe. Like, I enjoy being in the middle of Europe, but outside the European Union.